All right. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of NFL Live Stream of Consciousness, rocking with you on a Thursday. A lot of stuff to get into. The combine, all the GMs get together and they are all asked questions. GMs and the head coaches are asked questions about their team, and they're revealing a lot of stuff. So Sean McVay looks like he's coming back. We talked about that early. Looks like the Packers have let it be known that Aaron Rodgers is not up for trade. So you can go ahead and any Denver fan that had that on their wish list, they can go ahead and scratch that off. So the Packers will be back. I think it makes sense for them. You have a Super Bowl contending team, so why not go for it? If Aaron Rodgers wants to play, he plays for us. I like that. I mean, I like that as a stance for them because of how good their team is. Now, if he actually retires and it's like week 2 and 3 of the season, and he's actually serious about this isn't just like Brett Favre 2.0, and he actually wants to go to a different team, then I would reconsider trading him at that point. But if he wants to play, he plays for us as a firm stance. Makes sense to me right now. It looks like the Seahawks are trading, or at least entertaining trading with Russell Wilson. So they said today, we have no intention of making any move there. So, it's like a word game. Like you say that we don't have any intention in making the trade, but hey, if someone changes our mind with the trade, I didn't intend to do it, but they changed my mind. Usually they say that a player is untouchable, we won't see, and that's not something we're considering at all. But I think that this shows that they're actually, willing to entertain the trade, and they're actually putting it out there for teams to make them offers. I think that it actually makes sense for the Seahawks. They're just bereft of talent. Defensively, that's where they won their Super Bowls. That's where, this Legion of Boom, 12th man, it all started from the defense. And then Russell Wilson was able to make a play here and there, and that's how they won the Super Bowl. And the defense just isn't what it used to be. The only guy that's left from, those days is Bobby Wagner. They've had a lot of draft picks on the defensive line flop. The trade for Adams looks like a colossal flop. He doesn't really do anything well at the safety position. He's more of a stack linebacker who's good at blitzing. You don't pay 2 first-round picks for that type of player. You don't draft that player in the first round anymore, even. So that looks like it was a mistake. They lack the talent. And if you're going to rebuild, why have such a large cap figure on your roster? Russell Wilson isn't good enough to guarantee you a playoff spot anymore. If you do the ranking of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, I don't think he might fall out of that. He's not better than Patrick Mahomes, not better than Josh Allen, not better than Aaron Rodgers. Would you take Joe Burrow over him? I would. That's 5 right there. So it remains to be seen if he does actually get traded. I thought the opportunity for them last year when the Bears were really serious about doing it, I thought they should have taken that. Like, if you're a Seahawks fan, would you rather have Russell Wilson right now or Justin Fields in the tuck? Now, most fans think their team is a year away from winning it. And you might be the Saints. The Saints had one draft class where they got Lattimore and they got, Kamara, and they got a right tackle, and, they got the safety. So they had just this out of nowhere draft where all the picks hit and all of them were impact players, and that catapulted them into a long run. So, hey, you might think that we're just one draft away, but with the way the Seahawks have drafted, how could you say that? So I think it makes sense. Washington, the football team, or the Commanders, dumbass name, have called every team looking for a quarterback. Yeah, I think once the quarterback carousel starts, they're probably going to jump in it early. So it's good if they get a quarterback. I think another thing is they got to get Chase Young going. He had a good rookie year. He wasn't good up until the injury last year. So if you're going to hang your hat on this defense and, oh, we're just a couple players away, especially if we get a quarterback, I'm not particularly sure about that. I think that this team has a lot of holes. Number two receiver, offensive line is kind of shaky. The defense didn't really play that well, closed out the year better, but I think that's more of who they played about how they played. So yeah, I think that they definitely need to kick the tires, but I think just as important, they need to get Chase Young going with the draft capital that they put into him. And I know he's coming off of ACL surgery, but he wasn't the dominant player that I thought he was. I thought he was going to be like defensive player of the year, and he wasn't that at all. So I don't know, it's just good to see all these football stories. I saw Rob Gronkowski to the Bills is something that's being questioned. Shout out to my man, Michael Walker Jr. I don't understand why the Bills are doing that. Offense isn't the problem. Defense is the problem. Being able to get stops is a problem. Giving up a field goal with 13 seconds left is a problem. That's where I would be addressing my energy, not adding another weapon. I mean, you can't, Rob Gronkowski isn't going to stop a team from getting to the 35-yard line with 13 seconds left on the clock. You know, this defense has always been an issue. Now they lost their best defender. He tore his ACL, the cornerback. So I understand people saying, hey, well, we get him back. But still, even with him on the team the previous year, you weren't able to get any stops on the Chiefs. I think that for them, they need to focus on how we're going to beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to get better. The Chiefs need a number two receiver. I think they know that. They felt the void of Sammy Watkins, I think, all year, and they're probably going to invest in somebody. Juju was close to signing with them last year, so I wouldn't be surprised if they get him this year, but with Big Ben being gone. But the Bills I just think it's time to focus on the defense and getting an impact front seven guy. I know you might say Matt Milano's an impact guy. That coverage linebacker is not going to help you beat the Chiefs. The Deshaun Watson situation, it looks like the Texans are just eager to get this situation taken care of one way or another. I'm reading again that people are willing to trade for him as soon as it's decided whether he's going to be found liable criminally by the district attorney and put on trial. So they don't even care about the civil cases, whether he settles those or not. That's not their concern. As long as he's not charged criminally, then they're ready to roll. I mean, he's that good of a quarterback. You put him on I just named 5 quarterbacks, 6. He's better than Russell Wilson. He's a great player. So I see how he changes the fortunes for a lot of teams. So I see, if you look at business as just straightforward and we're not putting emotions and morals into it, I see why people would trade for him. And like I said a bunch of times, you know, we say we care about things, but after a while, people move on. I think there's going to be backlash immediately against them. But hey, Big Ben played with these allegations as well, and everybody moved on. So I guess that's what the team's calculus. So I guess we'll see. I saw that the Eagles are going to stay committed to Jalen Hurts. Hopefully that's just a ploy for them to try to get, not show their hand and what they're going to do this offseason, because he's not it. And he's not a quarterback. He's not a starting quarterback in this league. I don't think he's even backup capable. He just struggles to throw the ball. Now, I mean, maybe that's too much of a stretch because he can come in and give you some run game and throw the other team off. But just as a pure quarterback, he's not starting in this league. So, yeah, the combine's about to happen. NFL dropped all their COVID protocols, which was encumbering a lot of the potential draftees, excuse me. So, people are eager to see the combine. That used to be like must-see TV for me, like not anymore. I think I'm just older in my football experience to know the guy that runs the fastest isn't the best guy. I don't know what Micah Parsons ran in the 40, but I don't care. I don't think he even ran a 40, and he set out the previous season. So, I mean, that just shows you, if you're a beast, you're a beast in this league. So That's the best rookie I've seen in the last 10 years. I haven't seen a rookie as good and as dominant as him, who might be arguably the best player at his position already. Whatever position you're putting him at, as edge rusher or stand backer. So I'll go ahead and leave it here. We're going to be dropping the good, the bad, the ugly on every team, about 10 minutes on every team, rehashing their season and looking forward to what they're getting in the offseason. It's hurry up and start in the NFL. 2 weeks from now, it's free agency. So, you know, everybody's going to be off to the races. So we'll definitely see what happens with that. If you're a basketball fan, I just dropped why comparing Ben Simmons to Draymond Green is crazy and why the Nets lost this trade in a landslide. So if you like basketball content, check that out. All right, the game is the game.
So what's up, man? What's up with you otherwise, you know?
The game is a game.
Always.